Breaking Par with Bernard Sheridan is brought to you by Impact Zone Golf Academy, located at Tiburon Golf Club at the Ritz-Carlton Golf Resort and Impact Zone Golf World Headquarters, both located in Naples, Florida. Welcome to Breaking Par with Bernard Sheridan, the only weekly golf instruction podcast that interviews the best golf industry pros from around the globe. Now, here's your host, Advanced Impact Zone Golf Instructor, Bernard Sheridan.
So, Jessie, thanks for joining us here today on Breaking Par.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I'm enjoying it.
So, we were talking a little bit before we went on the air, and you know, we've bantered a little bit back and forth on Facebook. That's about the extent of our relationship up to this point until a few moments ago, where we started to talk about a lot of different things. And so give us a little bit of insight as to, first, how did you get involved in this industry? What made you decide to pursue golf as a career?
Well, it's really not as easy as just, you know, waking up one morning going, yeah, I think I'm just going to be a golf pro. I actually spent 20 years in the Army before I became a golf pro. So it was a long trip for me to get there. I got into the business a little bit later than most. And I've been playing since I was about 10 years old. I grew up in a little bitty small town, Henderson, Kentucky. And golf back in those days wasn't the big thing. You know, Kentucky, it's all about baseball and basketball and football. And I didn't play any of those. So I played golf ever since I was little and played all through my military career. I gave my first golf lesson back in 1986 in Germany. And I've just been teaching off and on ever since then. I remember I've given a bunker shot lesson in the desert with full battle rattle on. You know, I had my Kevlar helmet on, my weapon strung across my back, and I'm out there with a sand iron teaching how to hit a bunker shot in the desert. So it was just a logical step for me once I actually retired. That I took my player's ability test for the PGA while I was still on active duty, and then as soon as I was still actually on active duty, just on my saved up leave time, my vacation time, when I started working at Grand Cypress in Orlando, and from there it's just been, you know, going ever since.
A wild ride, right? So,
oh yeah.
Yeah. So how long has it been since you've been in the business now?
About 10 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, I retired in February of 06.
Okay. So you've accomplished quite a bit in a short period of time, but that's probably because of all the experience you had in the military and understanding, you know, what it's like to go after what you need to do and to attack it. They probably trained you very well, and I salute you for actually being in there. So it's a tremendous amount of respect for our guys in the armed forces. I joined when I was out of high school, and unfortunately for myself, maybe it wasn't unfortunate, maybe it was fortunate that it worked out the way it did. But I never made it because I got sworn in and I was ready to go to boot camp, and I got into a car accident, and it kind of stopped me from going to boot camp. And I actually joined the Navy, and it just never ended up that I ever got there. You know, about a year and a half of finally trying to get my health back together, and they gave me a medical discharge, and they said, "Be on your way, sir, because we don't want to pay for your medical bills for the rest of your life. So it's nice knowing
Exactly.
you." So, which was fine, and I respected that, and but I have a lot of respect for anybody who's in the military, and I salute you for that. So 10 years you started in Orlando, and give us a little bit of how you hopped around and what brought you, because I believe that now you're in California. Yes,
I am, as a matter of fact. Well, I worked at Grand Cypress in Orlando for a couple of years. Then luckily got a job at Pebble Beach Company, of all companies. My second golf job in the world.
Wow.
And I'm working at Pebble Beach. I'm working for Rich Kosan over at Spanish Bay, teaching with Laird Small at the academy there. And then, of course, the economy crashed. Things happened, so I got up and had to move to L.A. So I moved down to L.A. and worked with Bob Grissett at the Golf Academy L.A., an indoor teaching facility. Helped him get that up and running, and had a great time teaching there. Then things came around again, and I got offered a job to be a head professional at a high-end private club, the Crosby National. I couldn't pass that up, so I took that job on.
And
Then
that's where you are now.
no.
Okay.
Even I've moved again. Now I'm up in outside Sacramento and San Francisco area, working at the Cypress Lakes golf course. I'm the general manager here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we are the actual Travis Air Force Base golf course.
Wow. How about that? So,
Yeah,
and it's
so
a beautiful area up there, isn't it?
it's nice. It is. We're 25 minutes from Napa of all places. So
Yeah, beautiful area. So I know that, because we're both involved with Impact Zone Golf, I know that Bobby mentioned that you did one of the schools out there with him out at Silverado. How was that?
oh, that was great. I truly, I love being a GM just because of the day to day operations and the challenges that this job has. But my heart and everything still lies in teaching and working with Bobby and the rest of the crew, Chris Moe and all those other guys. It was such. It's just a fun experience because there's so little stress working with them and actually doing the teaching part. If you know the impact zone and you believe in the way to teach it and everything, it's so easy to teach, and the students just catch on so easy, and they all come there. They're motivated, they want to learn, and they tend to learn a lot quicker. I find, because I've taught with some other people that have some methods that they don't catch on as quickly, and so
Yeah.
they get a little frustrated after the first day. But when you get these guys, and within the first hour, they're hitting the ball better. And then the second hour, they're even hitting it even better. And they're just getting more and more motivated as the day goes along. It's not like they're getting more and more tired or more and more frustrated and want to quit and go home and they don't know why they paid all this money to do it. And that's just been it. It's working with the Impact Zone for me has just been a blast, and it's made my teaching so much easier.
Yeah, it cuts through all the red tape, is what
Oh
it
yeah,
is, and it gets right down to the nitty gritty. And it also, I mean, for me, I always felt like, the great thing about it is you're not dealing with style anymore. You don't even have to worry about style. It's like, who the heck even cares about style? You're working on the dynamics, and that's what makes everything happen. And then, like you said, when you work with those things with players, they greater understand it. It takes a lot of the mystery out of it, and it makes it a lot easier for them to be able to execute it. And then, like you said, they become extremely excited because they're doing things that they never did before, and
and,
that's just incredible.
and like I said, they're doing it easier and quicker in the lesson phases. Some of these guys that come to these schools, they've told me in the past that, yeah, I've been to this school and I've been to that school and I've been to X, Y, and Z big name school, and they didn't see near the amount of progress as quickly. So, and plus, working with Bobby and Marianne, you can't ask for better people to be around.
Absolutely, I totally agree. They're like family to me, and I love them like family. They're just fantastic people, and I felt for me when I started to when I actually first met them, uh, I felt an immediate connection, and I felt very comfortable. But they both have a way of making people feel very comfortable to be around them, and they're just great people, and they're very normal people too. I mean,
Yeah, they're
Bobby.
just genuine people. Yeah.
Yep, very genuine. That's true. That's true. So when you're at doing GM stuff, you're not teaching at all, or you sneak a little bit in here and there. I mean, there can't be a lot of time to teach if you're the GM.
Yeah, I don't teach as much as I'd really like to. Of course, most of us teachers that really love teaching would rather be on the driving range or, teaching instead of sitting behind a desk doing budgets and scheduling and pricing of the pro shop and everything. But uh, every golf course has that place. I've got three instructors that work for me. I've got a PGA, an actual PGA guy. I've got a PGA apprentice, and I have a certified instructor that's a contract instructor that works for me. So they do the 99% of the lessons, but you always have that one student that comes in looking for the PGA professional, looking for the head pro, looking for the GM. They want to take lessons from that guy. And I've had a few people find me on the Impact Zone also,
Sure.
and they'll call me up, and that. So I've gotten some lessons through those guys, and I still have some of my students from Southern California. They'll come up here and see me, every 4, 5, 6 months or something like this, and we'll do a tune up on them. They'll call me up and want me to meet them somewhere and give them a lesson. But yeah, I don't get to teach as much as I really like to.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate in that respect that, I haven't been teaching a lot lately just because we're trying to put this place together, down here in Naples with the world headquarters and all that. But it's starting to kick in now, and we do have the bays up and running, and I'm teaching more and more, and that's what I really love to do. That's what I'm really passionate about. And then the other thing that I'm really passionate about is doing stuff like this, is talking to other professionals, talking to other people in the business, and getting their insight and their knowledge and learning from them and just keep moving on.
Right. Yeah. One of the best things we've done up here, and one of the programs we started here in northern Florida at my golf course is that PGA Hope program, and that's for the disabled veterans. And I actually I heard about it. I got in touch with our section. They did the legwork for us. We hosted them on our golf course, and that was such a good time teaching those guys. We just finished up our fall class with them. We're going to have one in the spring also. And we're talking. I have one guy who hasn't picked up a golf club in 40 years since he got injured in the military. And we brought him back. He came out. He heard about it. We brought him out here, got him playing golf, and he's been out here a couple times a week since then. Even if it's just putting or pitching on the pitching green or out on the driving range. But I look at these guys, and they're not the little kids, the juniors that are up and coming athletes. That these guys have been in combat, sometimes loss of limb, things like this, and we're getting them back into the golf industry, or back out on the golf course, back into being social and everything. And that was the best thing that we've done out here since I've been here.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, it's there's so many different ways to grow the game, and then to give back to the military in that way too, because like we were saying a little bit earlier, I mean, nobody makes more sacrifices for what we do here, and to have the freedom that we have than those guys. I mean, it's without them, we wouldn't even be sitting here talking. Who knows where we would be, or what or how it would be. And that's really what makes a difference. So, what are the other things that you think? Because to me, you're an outside of the box kind of thinker, and at least from what I've seen from you on Facebook and just this little chat that we've had so far, what do you think are some other good things that both of us as professionals and people in the industry can do to help grow the game a little bit more?
I think we just got to get the word back out there that it's a fun game. It's not, because everybody sees these, the PGA Tour guys, the LPGA, the Champions Tour. I think if they watched more of the Champions Tour fun events, they would realize this is a fun sport. It's not a 6.5 hour where you have to plumb bob a 2-footer because you're putting for $3 million or anything like this. You're out there to have fun with your friends. It doesn't matter if you go out there and you play 4 hours, you shoot 150, and you lose 24 golf balls. If you walk off and you had a good time, you enjoy being around your buddies and your friends and everything, that evening, you're not going to talk about that golf ball you lost in the lake. You're not going to talk about how you whiffed this other ball. You're going to talk about that 5-foot putt you made to save par. You're going to talk about how silly one of your other partners was during the round or something like this, and you're going to realize that it was fun, and you had a good afternoon out on the golf course, out in the real world, in the fresh air. You didn't check your cell phone every 2 minutes to see if you had any updates, and this is the place to go to get away from all of that. And it's not real noisy. It's not a whole lot of distractions. You just get out and you get fresh air. It's a healthy thing to do. I think we're doing a great job in the industry of bringing up these junior golfers, and I think we still need to continue doing that. But now it's time to shift gears, and I think we've got all that in place. We've got all the junior tours, the U.S. kids. We got all that in place, and they're doing great jobs bringing these juniors up. Every single high school has a golf team now. Every college has a golf team now. Now we need to get the word out there to all those moms and dads that used to play golf and get them back out here. Now that their kids are in school or in high school, let them have their lives. Now we got to get those families back out here on the golf course on the weekends or in the evenings or anything like that. And just let them know this is your place to go relax. Forget about the bills, forget about your cell phone, forget about your appointments. Have fun on the golf course. Sit in the clubhouse afterwards, have a drink or have something to snack on and just relax for a minute. And that's where I think the golf really has dropped the ball in the last few years. Everybody thinks this is such a serious sport because that's all we see on TV, is that everybody being serious all the time. And we've dropped the ball on letting people know you can have fun doing this. It's a good time.
Well, I definitely agree. I mean, I have more fun on the golf course, even and I don't, unfortunately, because I teach and work in the industry, I don't get to play a lot. And before I did do that, I played like crazy, and that's where I had the most fun. And two, I think what a lot of people don't realize is there's so many new people to meet through golf. I mean, there's a lot of times that that guys will go out or gals will go out with maybe one of their friends, not necessarily a foursome, and then get teamed up with two other players, and get out there and meet new people and have a good time, and maybe throw a couple of beers back and just get out there and just enjoy the day and enjoy all the beautiful scenery that's around you, and then maybe at the end of the day, becoming friends with those people. You can learn a tremendous amount about a person when you're on a golf course for 4.5 hours. I mean, it's amazing what you can learn about a person's character and how a person really is in life and as a person. And that's one of the things that I've always loved about golf was meeting new people. And being able to talk to new people and find out things that they did and find out about them and their likes and dislikes and just the camaraderie out there of making new friends. And I know that for me, a lot of times, I would always play by myself, and I don't mean by myself all by my lonesome. I mean I would go do walk-ons as a single, because a lot of times they wouldn't give me a tee time because I was a single, and that's understandable. And they would say, "Okay, come on in, and we'll get you out." And I would go in, and then they'd put me in with a twosome or a threesome, and I'd meet all these people, and I'd have a great time. And it was just so nice to be able to always meet new people and do something that I loved to do that was so much fun.
Exactly. Yeah. And a great story with that. I was when I was in the service, I was stationed in Maryland for a couple of years up in the mountains. And me and my wife I was playing, she was driving the cart, and we go play this one golf course. And on the second hole, I'm catching up to the group in front of me already. They're standing on the tee box waiting for a group in front of them. And I'm like, all right. So I hang back, and the guys on the tee box wave at me and tell me, come on up. They asked me if I wanted to join. And I said, sure, why not? I walk up to the tee box. The guy standing there, and he tells me, he goes, hey, how you doing? My name's Jeff Daniels. This is C. Thomas Howell. They were in Gettysburg filming the movie Gettysburg.
How cool is that?
Yeah, I played 17 holes with Jeff and C. Thomas. Had a great time. Jeff Daniels was actually a pretty good golfer. C. Thomas Howell sucked. But Jeff Daniels wouldn't let him live it down either. Every time he hit a bad shot, he'd just dog him all day. It was a blast. We had such a great time. And afterwards, we went in the clubhouse, had a drink with them, sat there and talked with them for about an hour, and just had a great time. I would never, ever got the opportunity to meet those guys if I hadn't been playing golf.
There you go. I mean, there was one time I went out in Pennsylvania, and I get teamed up with these three guys, and they're all wearing black, right? And they got tattoos all over the place, and they got black shirts and black pants and black hats, and so I said to him, I said, boy, you guys, I said, you guys belong to a club or something, right? And he said, he goes, no, well, we're in town. We work for AC/DC.
Okay.
He said, and we got a show tonight, so we thought we'd kill some time and play some golf. I'm like, you're kidding me. I said, what do you do? And the one guy goes, well, I'm a pyrotechnics guy. I blow things up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you got anything with you now?
Yeah, that'd been fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there just goes to show you that you can meet anybody out there, and then end up that now I'm hanging out with these guys and we're talking about rock and roll the whole time, and all the different things that they do on tour and where they're going next and how long they've been traveling and how much fun the guys in AC/DC are and how much fun they are to work with and stuff like that. So it's like you're saying, I mean, you never know who you're going to meet. You never know what this game can do to open your life and open new doors in your life. And if more people embraced it and just had fun, like you were saying,
Right.
then and not worry about, oh my gosh, I got to shoot 80 today, and if I don't shoot 80 or break 80, I'm going to be mad and I'm not going to be happy and I mean that's just like putting way too much pressure on yourself and way too much stress.
Oh yeah. When I figured out I was never going to play on the tour, I go out there and I have fun when I play golf. I play with the normal group of guys, but I'll play with anybody. I don't care who. I'll be out there. I go out and play alone, and some of my members here will yell at me, and I'll go join up with them, and we'll play and just have a great time. And of course I'm trying to play as best as I can.
Sure.
But I am not. I guarantee you, I am not standing over a 3-foot putt, thinking this is to win the U.S. Open. If I miss it, I'm going to throw my putter in the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a great time, and that's what I try to get all my golfers out here to do. Just have a good time while you play. That's all it is.
Well, I think that in life in general, there's way too much stress, and in your job and things like that. So when you get to the golf course, you want to not be under stress. You want to decompress, and like you were saying earlier, you have that amount of time that you don't have to worry about answering a cell phone, and you don't have to worry about maybe somebody telling you what to do, or that you have to have this done by this time, or that you have to take the garbage out, or whatever it is that maybe your wife is telling you, the honey-do list or things like that. It gives you an opportunity to just kind of get away, and for ladies too, it gives them the opportunity. And it's funny, but I had an interview earlier today. With a lady who's an architect, and she was saying that we have to get more ladies in golf, and I agree with that. I mean, I think that's real important to grow the game, and because they're going to bring a lot of different other people into the game, and also more families will get involved if more ladies are in it, and a lot of families can make it that type of a thing where it's a great way to spend an afternoon as a family, having a good time, just enjoying each other's company.
Oh yeah, I agree. And I mean, I've been playing a long time, and we hear all the stats about how women have left the game since the 70s and 80s and everything like this, and they're just not rebounding like they did, like we thought they would. And I've had this discussion with some other professionals and teachers and some of the PGA people. One of the problems, I think, why we're not getting the ladies, and we've done a pretty good job trying to bring them back. We've done marketing pushes for them and everything like this, and they're just not coming back. And I think what it is, the ladies nowadays, I don't know what it's like where you are, but our ladies out here, they're just so busy because now they all have a job, a full-time job, just like Dad does, which they didn't used to have to do. Plus, Mom is always the taxi driver for the kids. Every kid has to be in soccer, football, baseball, scouts, 15 different activities after school. Mom's got to run them around to all of them. I've got friends of mine who, they work until 5 o'clock at night. They don't get home until 9:30 because they're busy running their kids around to all the different activities. And so what we've done here at our golf course is I've got a 3-hole program. You got 45 minutes, come play 3 holes of golf. Bring your friends, play 3 holes of golf. Get a hot dog, hamburger, and a soda on the way out the door. And less than an hour, you've got a little bit of time away from the world. You can actually go out there and breathe, take a little decompression lunchtime, and go on. And we actually had it's starting to catch on. So it's actually, we're getting a couple of ladies do that too. So it's nice.
Well, that's good. I know that, like I said before, that the lady that I interviewed before this Her name was Vicky, and she said, because she's a golf course architect. She's worked with Arnold Palmer and she's done all kinds of different things. But she worked with Arnold Palmer Golf for in that part of the business for 25 years. And she said that what she does and what tries to encourage people to do is do 3 6s and play 6 holes, and then maybe if they have time, play another 6 holes. And you don't have to always play 18 holes. I mean, it's if you're doing it for fun and not trying to achieve a goal. And I think a lot of guys make it about achieving a goal, and that's okay too. I mean, that's good, because it's good to have goals. And it's good to move to the next level. And a lot of times for guys, that's the motivator to continue to play, is to get to the next level. It's just like a little kid playing a Xbox. He wants to beat this level and get to the next level. And he gets a little bit frustrated when he doesn't, when he gets right to the end and gets killed. And just like we get a little frustrated when we get right to the end, when these guys get right to the end and they think they're gonna break 90 or they're gonna break 80 for the first time, and then they mess it up, but that it keeps them coming back. But the 6-hole thing too, I think, is a great idea.
It is.
Because it's a little bit over an hour, maybe an hour and 20, and you're not taking up the entire afternoon, and you can just go out and have some fun, and then, like you said, head back and get a burger or a dog or have a cocktail or a nice cool soda, and and bring the kids with you, and just make it a fun family afternoon. And you can do that too for a much better rate if you're playing late in the day, getting out like around 3 o'clock this time of year in the places that are still warm, like I'm lucky enough to be in one of those places, and get out at 3, and your greens fees drop tremendously later in the afternoon. And there's not as many people on the golf course, and so now you're not being held up, and your pace of play can move quickly, and you can get maybe 12 holes in, and then go have dinner back at the clubhouse, or leave and go someplace else. If there isn't a clubhouse, there's a lot of public courses that really don't have that kind of thing,
right?
And just make a nice late Friday afternoon or late Saturday afternoon, and just have a good time.
Yeah, and the late evening, late afternoon time frames and stuff like that, I've noticed that's mostly when a lot of our beginners come out.
Yeah.
Their buddies will bring a beginner friend out or something like this. They don't feel rushed. They don't feel intimidated. They're not going to get partnered up with a scratch golfer, 18-year-old kid who bombs at 320 down the middle every day. They're going to be able to get out there and relax and not be embarrassed because they messed up, and they can just go out there and have fun.
So I totally agree. That's definitely the key. So we're kind of winding it up here. We're coming to the end of our segment. So for players who want to get in touch with you and learn Impact Zone Golf that are back there in the California area or around that where you are, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you and then head out there and maybe take a few lessons?
They just go on the Impact Zone webpage. They can go under the instructors there. All my contact information's on there. My email's on there. They can even call me here at Cypress Lakes Golf Course, and we can always set something up.
That's great.
That's the Impact Zone webpage is the best one. It's easy to find me on there too. So
great. Well, we'll let them know. So, Jess, thanks so much again for being with us. And what we always like to say in parting here is do your best until we meet again to keep it in the short grass.
We'll see you in January.
All right. Take care.
Take care. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Breaking Par with Bernard Sheridan, the only weekly golf instructional podcast that helps you take control of your game. Need help with a part of your game? Email us at parbreakers@gmail.com and we will cover your topic in a future show. You can also follow us on Twitter at Parbreakers. For more tips and videos to help your game, go to www.parbreakers.com, where you learn to take control of your game.